Hey everybody. All right, we got it right this time. Apologize for this false start last time. If I had been a little more patient with everybody, including the volunteers, we would have had this right. So that's totally my fault, actually. We had people delivering the stream. It's right here. We're going to cut to it. The opening speaker, Bernie Sanders live, Madison, Wisconsin. Really want to say thank you to Bernie Sanders 2016 and KWOW, I believe it is, or WKOW, I'm sorry. WKOW.com. 27 ABC is also providing this. So thank you, everybody, volunteers and everybody, for helping me pull this together. What a mess this morning has been. I'll tell you about more of that later, but let's just cut on over and listen to Bernie and be inspired. Thanks for being here.
So much less. Student loan debt and the reduction in take-home pay makes choosing teaching a fiscally irresponsible decision, literally. We need good teachers. We need bright young people interested in preparing our next generation of citizens, of voters. But unless something changes, we won't be getting any more soon. We need a president who supports making public universities tuition free. Public education from preschool through college. We need a president who supports worker rights, who supports unions. We need Bernie Sanders.
Well, that was quick. Yeah, they froze. Here we go. Buffering. Yeah, see. They're having stream problems too. This is what happens. So we're waiting for Bernie Sanders 2016 to figure out their stream. And I'm guessing right now everybody's bouncing around trying to figure out where to go to listen to Bernie. This is what happens when you don't have an infrastructure that's good enough to support the people. And when you're scrambling around trying to watch the future president of the United States because the establishment media is doing everything they can to block him. Although we know that that narrative has changed, and we changed that narrative. Right. Now, here we are again with what I thought was going to be a stream, and we don't quite have one. So give me a minute. Let's see if we can't find something going on. Yeah, it's really buffery. They've even kicked on it. I don't even think we have an alternative right now. Understand that, yeah, we're grabbing a stream of a stream. There we go. Almost. There it is. The circle of death. Well, we're not having much luck today, are we, with Bernie Sanders in Madison? I wish somebody could find me a local stream. Anybody in chat got me a local stream? Because we're obviously not having much luck here with this. Apologies, everyone. Like I said, this is what it takes to try to broadcast things. WKOW is Trump. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. So we got somebody broadcasting Trump. We got nobody that we can find right now broadcasting Bernie. The stream we were looking at, not coming through. Sorry, guys. This is like 2 false starts today. And there's nothing we can do about it. I think what I'll do here is just leave this on for a while. Maybe there's a video we could run real quick or something. You know, I leave this on for a minute. We'll see if we can't figure out streams. Give me a second. Be right back. Oh, I've been told we have one. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can't pull this up here. News Universe has got it. Isn't that who I was just looking at? No, Bernie Sanders 2016. All right. All right, News Universe. Thank you, thank you. Here we go, everybody. This is how we work together.
So I say to Governor Walker and all other Republican governors, if you don't have the guts to participate in free, fair, and open elections, get out of politics. And the truth is that the United States has one of the voter turnout rates of any major country on earth. Our job is to increase voter turnout, not suppress voter turnout. Our job is to get more people involved, low-income people, working people, young people, old people, get more people involved in the political process, not fewer people. When we talk about democracy, one of the points of this campaign in fighting for the future of America is to revitalize American democracy, which means large voter turnouts, one person, one vote. I want all of our people to be thinking and debating the major issues facing our country with the full understanding that they, in fact, in a democratic society, will have major decision-making powers about the future of our country. Our people, regardless of their political views, you're conservative, fine, you're progressive, fine. I want you to feel comfortable about running for political office without having to beg wealthy people for campaign. As elected president, I will do everything I can to overturn this disastrous Citizens United. What this campaign is about is asking people to think outside of the box, outside of the status quo. I do not want anybody here to become comfortable with the idea that the Koch brothers and a handful of other billionaires are able to buy elections. Don't become comfortable with that, because we are not going to allow that to continue. But it is not only a corrupt campaign finance system and voter suppression which we have got to address as a people. It is also a rigged economy. This is something you don't see on television very much. You're not going to read about it in the newspapers terribly often. And that's another serious problem that we have as a nation. And that is, who determines what our reality is? Is it going to be CNN, or is it going to be us? Who's going to determine the options and the choices that we face? So when we look at the economy, this is where we are. This is not going to get on TV very much. But the reality is that the top 1/10 of 1% today owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. Anybody think that's what the American economy should be? Today, at a time when 47 million people are living in poverty, where half of the kids in our public schools are on free or reduced lunches, where children in America are sleeping in cars with their parents, top 20 people in America own more wealth than the bottom 150 million Americans, half of our country. Today in America, and I will give you a very specific example, 1 out of a million, examples of what a rigged economy is about. A rigged economy is not just massive levels of income and wealth inequality. It is taking from the middle class to support the rich. All right, that's what a rigged economy is about. Give me an example. Wealthiest family in America is who? Walton family owns Walmart. Walmart is the largest private sector employer in America. The wages they pay their workers are so low that many of these workers, unfortunately, go on Medicaid, food stamps, or affordable housing. And who pays for the food stamps, the Medicaid, and the subsidized housing? So in essence, what you have is the middle class, through higher taxes, is subsidizing the wealthiest family in America. That is absurd. Stations are allowed to put this on because of all advertising. But I do believe that it is time for the Walton family to get off of welfare and pay their workers. It is what's going on day after day after day in our economy. And what's going on is we have today millions of American workers who are working longer hours for lower wages. They have seen over the last decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, their adjusted income, inflation adjusted for income, going down. They're paying more for health care. They're earning less income. What we have now in my state and in your state is people working not 1 job but 2 jobs or 3 jobs, trying to cobble together enough income and some health care. Let me remind the young people who probably will not believe me when I say this, but check it out. There was once a time, not so long ago, and older people remind the young people of this, where there were families in America, the average family, where one person in that family, in those days, often the man, could work 40 hours a week and bring in enough income to take care of the whole family. I know the young people don't believe it, but it was true. And then you had is going to the top 1%. are right to be angry because they should not have to be working the longest hours of any people in the industrialized world. Japanese are very hard-working people. We work longer hours than the Japanese do. And yet at the end of the day, 58% of all new income is going to the top 1%. That's a rigged economy, and that's an economy we are going to change. These are some of the issues. You've got a corrupt campaign finance system, so that your governor gets subsidized by the Koch brothers. And then you have elected officials who do the bidding of the wealthy and the powerful. And then you got a rigged economy in which the middle class continues to disappear. And then you got something else out there that we've got to deal with. And that is a broken criminal justice system. And I want you all, again, think outside of the box. Don't let, the networks tell you how to look at issues. Here's an issue. This is the United States of America, and today we have more people in jail than China or any other country on earth. We got 2.2 million people in jail, disproportionately African American, Latino, and Native American. And we are spending $80 billion a year to lock up fellow Americans. That is unacceptable. You're absolutely right. We are spending huge amounts of money, taxpayer dollars, to destroy people's lives and lock them up. Now, what are some of the reasons? A lot of reasons for it. Let me just tick off a few. For a start, what is not discussed at all, virtually not mentioned, is youth unemployment for high school graduates between 17 and 20 is off the charts. We're talking about kids, if they are white, between 17 and 20, graduating high school, not dropping out. Unemployment rate, real unemployment rate, 33%. Latino, 36%. African American, 51%. Kids unemployed or underemployed. It seems to me that it is a lot smarter for us to be investing in jobs and education for those kids rather than jails and hospitals. Expensive to find jobs and job training and good education for those kids? Yeah, it will. But it'll be a hell of a lot cheaper in terms of dollars and human life than locking them up. It's expensive to send a young person to the University of Wisconsin than putting them in jail. Reform, we need to take a hard look at local police departments all over this country. You are tired, I am tired, the American people are tired of seeing police officers shoot unarmed people, often minorities. I work with police departments and police officers all over this country. And the overwhelming majority of police officers are honest, they are hardworking, and they have a very, very difficult job. Any other public official, if a police officer breaks the law, that officer must be held accountable. On demilitarizing local police departments. Reflect the diversity of the communities they are serving. With corporate ownership of prisons and detention. Making money by imprisoning fellow Americans. Taking a very hard look at the so-called war on drugs. That many millions of Americans now have police records over the last 30 years for being arrested for possessing marijuana. If you're a young person, you know what? That is not a good thing. That impedes your ability to get a job. You can't get a job, you can't get an income, you do other things which are not good. Today, in Washington, the Federal Controlled Substance Act lists marijuana as a Schedule I drug right alongside of heroin. Now, people can argue about the pluses and minuses of marijuana, but it truly is not a killer drug like heroin. And that is why I have introduced legislation to take marijuana out of the Federal Controlled Substance Act. And when we talk about drugs, which is a very significant problem in this country, in my state of Vermont, neighboring New Hampshire, all over America, we're looking at very high levels of opiate addiction, heroin addiction every day. Every single day, people are dying from overdosing on heroin or some other drug. But when we look at how we can best address this very serious national crisis, we've got to look at drug addiction and substance abuse as health issues, not criminal. Although I am running for the Democratic nomination against Secretary Hillary Clinton, I want to just tick off in as objective a manner as I can the very serious differences that we have on some major issues and approaches to politics. Number one, we have to make a choice. Is an insurgent campaign 10 months, 11 months ago when I began this campaign, and that is, should we establish a super PAC in order to go out to Wall Street and corporate America and beg them for money? Well, after about 1/10 of 1 second of we decided not to do that. This campaign does not represent Wall Street. We don't represent corporate America. We don't represent wealthy campaign contributors, and we decided to not establish a super PAC. But what we did do, and this is really quite extraordinary and something that I never would have dreamed could have happened. We went out and we asked the middle class and working families for help. And what we said is, look, if you want to support a campaign which is prepared to stand up to the billionaire class, which is prepared to profoundly change national priorities in this country, we need your help. And what happened has blown me away completely. Over the last 11 months, we have received more than 6 million individual campaign contributions. That is campaign contributions than any candidate in the history of this country up to this point in elections. Contribution is a revolutionary development in American politics, something that very few of the pundits or the political scientists would have dreamed could be possible. And what it has shown is that we can run a winning national campaign without being dependent upon big money interests. That is to move in a different direction. She has several super PACs. Her largest one reported a while back that in the last filing period, they received $25 million from special interests, including $15 million from Wall Street. Secretary Clinton and every other politician who receives money from special interests always has the same response. Not going to influence me. They're just giving us millions of dollars for the heck of it. Well, the question that we have got to ask, not just for Secretary Clinton, but for any special interest that puts millions of dollars into a campaign, why are they doing that? What do they expect in return? You can say whatever you want about Wall Street, and in my view, the business model of Wall Street is fraud. Yeah. You can say whatever you want about them, but these guys are not dumb. They know how to make investments, and they invest for a purpose. Now, Secretary Clinton has also given a number of speeches before Wall Street financial institutions and has been paid some $225,000 a speech. Now, I kind of think that if you're going to get paid $225,000 a speech, it must be a brilliant speech. It must be a mind-blowing speech. It must be a speech written in Shakespearean prose. I kind of think that if the speech is that fantastic, that the Secretary should share it with the American. Has said, well, she is prepared to release the transcripts if other people do the same. So I am prepared today here in Madison. Very, very serious moment. Make a major public statement, right? I am prepared to release all of the transcripts of all of the speeches that I have given. There are a day. One area, and it's an important area. How you raise your money is very, very significant, I think, in assessing what a candidate will do if elected. But there's another issue that is also very important. When we talk about the decline of the American middle class and the loss of good-paying jobs in this country and their replacement by low-wage jobs, one of the factors, not the only one, but a major factor, is a series of disastrous trade policies in this country that has resulted in the loss of millions of decent-paying jobs. Sexy issue. Media doesn't cover it very much at all. But what it means is in Wisconsin, and in Vermont, and all over this country, you have situations where corporations will help write these trade agreements. By that I mean NAFTA and permanent normal trade relations with China, many other trade agreements. They were written for a very simple purpose. And you don't have to be a PhD in economics to figure it out. What they were written for is to enable corporations not to have to pay workers in Wisconsin $20, $25 an hour, but to be able to shut down here, move to a low-wage country, and then bring their products back into this country tariff-free. That's what these agreements were written to do, and that, in fact, is exactly what's happening. Since 2001, we have lost almost 60,000 factories in the United States of America, millions of decent paying jobs. Not all of that is attributable to trade, but a lot of it is. Let me just give you some examples. Right here in Wisconsin. In 2008, General Motors shut down its manufacturing plant in Janesville, destroying thousands of decent paying jobs and moving those jobs to Mexico, where workers were paid a fraction of the wages being paid here in Wisconsin. In 1996, Johnson Controls shut down its Brew City valve plant in Milwaukee and moved to Mexico, where they could pay workers there 72 cents an hour. Last year, Johnson Controls for another 277 workers in Milwaukee out on the streets and moved to Mexico, China, and Slovakia. 15 years ago, Riggs and Stratton was Wisconsin's largest private employer with 11,000 manufacturing workers. Today, it only has 2,500 workers in Wisconsin after it moves its plants to Mexico and China. Rockwell Automation has slashed its union workforce in Milwaukee from 6,000 down to just 300 as it moved plants to Mexico, China, and the Dominican Republic, and on and on and on. It's certainly not just Wisconsin. Same thing is happening to my state of Vermont, happening all over America. I want you to know that from the first day that I was elected to Congress, took office in 1991 in the House, I have vigorously opposed all of these trade Secretary Clinton, over the years, has supported virtually every one of these trade agreements. In my view, I will, not only is it my view, I will help lead the opposition to the TPP, the Trans-Pacific. Before she ended up opposing it, she had supported it on many, many occasions. I have never supported the TPP. It's simply a continuation of past disastrous trade policies. Obviously, an issue of huge consequence. We don't have the time to get into it in great length. But the most important foreign policy debate in the modern history of this country was over the war in Iraq. I was in the House, Secretary Clinton was in the Senate. I listened very carefully to what George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Don Rumsfeld, and all the rest of these guys had to say about going to war in Iraq. I did not believe them for a second. I vigorously opposed that war. Secretary Clinton heard the same evidence that I did. Her judgment was different. She supported that war. We have significant differences in terms of our approach to foreign policy. And what I will tell you is that in terms of the Middle East, number one, yes, we have got to destroy ISIS. But number two, we have got to do it in a way that does not get our men and women in the armed forces in perpetual warfare in the Middle East. Growing concern. I think we will see in years to come one of the great environmental issues facing us is the issue of clean water. Michigan is not the only city in America struggling with providing clean drinking water to its people. And unless we get our act together, that situation will become worse. I do not believe that we should continue fracking. Practices are doing great damage to the water systems of this country. We've got to bring that to an end. Secretary Clinton has a different position on that. Let me now talk a little bit about our good friend Donald Trump. And I am happy to tell you with absolute certainty that Donald Trump will not become president of the United States. And this touches on another issue, is that very often the establishment says, well, Bernie Sanders is a nice guy, but he can't win a general election. I want everybody here to understand that in almost every national poll, which has Democrats running against Trump and other Republicans, not only do I always beat Trump by large numbers, the last CNN poll had us 20 points ahead of Trump. Statewide polls, I think it was a poll just came out today in Wisconsin, but similar to other polls, which had us beating Trump by big-time double-digit numbers. Yeah. In every one of these polls, virtually everyone, not everyone, almost everyone, we do far better against Trump and the other Republican candidates than does Hillary Clinton. Make certain that we do not have somebody like Trump in the White House. I think Bernie Sanders will be the strongest candidate in the future. It's not just polls. Polls go up and down. What it is that in my heart of hearts, I do not believe that the American people will ever elect a president who virtually every single day is insulting one group of people or another. You're not going to have a candidate will not be elected president who insults Mexicans and Latinos. Muslims. Needless to say, I pay a lot of attention to what's going on our side, so I don't worry all that much about the Republicans. But what I can perceive, the American people are just flabbergasted at the nature of this Republican campaign. Here you have incredibly important issues facing the American people. The decline of the middle class, income and wealth inequality, climate change, etc. And what these guys are doing are they're attacking each other's wives. This is beyond belief. And it is something not only, I think, beyond comprehension to the average American, but if you are a sane Republican, you are looking at this in disbelief. Will not be elected president because you cannot get elected president insulting African Americans. Everybody should remember, sometimes people have forgotten this, that well before he became a candidate, Trump was one of the leaders of the so-called birther movement. Remember that? And that birther movement was not a joke. It was a very ugly effort to delegitimize the presidency of the first African-American president in our history. That was not an accident. This was not somebody saying, well, I don't like Obama or I disagree with Obama. That's fine. This was trying to convince the American people that Barack Obama was not the legitimate president of the United States. That was an ugly and vicious and dangerous attack waged by Donald Trump. That's right. Donald Trump will not be elected president Because at the end of the day, the American people understand that bringing our people together, black, white, and Latino, Asian American, and Native American, bringing our people together, straight and gay, male and female, people born in this country with people who have immigrated into this country, that bringing people together will always trump the divisiveness and trying to divide us. Instinctually understand that supporting each other, the concept of togetherness, that you have got to be there for me and my family, and I and my family have got to be there for you. That concept of supporting each other will always trump selfishness. The American people understand at its deepest level what every major and great religion on earth has told us. And whether it is Christianity or Judaism or Islam or Buddhism or any of the other great religions, what they have always told us is that at the end of the day, love always trumps hatred. Pivotal moment in American history. We have massive levels of income and wealth inequality. We have a corrupt campaign finance system. We have a broken criminal justice system. We have millions of young people who have gone to college, who have gotten all of the education that they were supposed to get, and yet they're leaving school with very deep debts that are taking them decades to pay off. We have women in America earning 79 cents on the dollar compared to men. We are the only major country on earth that doesn't guarantee paid family and medical leave. We are the only major country on earth that does not guarantee health care to all people as a right. And as a planet, not just a nation, we are facing the extraordinary global crisis of climate change. And I'm a member of the Senate Committee on the Environment. I've talked to scientists all over the world. And what they are telling us is that we do not get our act together in a reasonably short period of time, the planet that we will be leaving our kids and future generations will not be a planet that is healthy or happy. And what we have got to do is have the courage to stand up to the fossil fuel industry and transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. These are just some. I talked before I came out of here. I talked to some teachers right here in the Madison area who work in public schools. And they're talking to me about the fact that, if you can believe it, we have young people now who do not want to go into teaching, which is such an important profession, because of the constant attacks on teachers, on the low wages that teachers are now experiencing. So you add all of those up, and there are more. These are the issues that we have got to face as a nation. Now, everybody in this room knows that real change never ever takes place from the top on down, not throughout our history or not throughout world history. Real change only takes place when millions of people come together, stand up, fight back, and say that the status quo is simply no longer acceptable. I believe from the bottom of my heart that we are at that moment right now, from coast to coast, where people are suddenly catching on that in our great country, why do we have such grotesque levels of income and wealth inequality? Unacceptable. Why are we a nation which has a corrupt campaign finance system after all of the years in which we were lecturing the whole world about democracy? We are now in a position where billionaires are capable of buying elections. The American people are saying, unacceptable. The American people are looking around and they're seeing 2.2 million people in jail, lives being destroyed. Unacceptable. The American people understand that there's something profoundly wrong when hundreds of thousands of bright and qualified young people can't get a college education because of their income. Unacceptable. The American people know that we are paying the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs and that people are dying because they can't afford the medicine they need. Unacceptable. The American people know that there's something profoundly wrong when we are the only major country not to guarantee health care or paid family medical leave to all of them. So from coast to coast, people are sitting there and they're thinking about these issues. And what they are concluding, I believe, is that we need a government today that represents all of us, not just wealthy campaign contributors. About saying is that no president, not Bernie Sanders, not anyone else, can do it alone. It's really not a one-person show. It can't be done. We need millions of people to become engaged in the political process in a way that we have not seen in the modern history of America. Now, on Tuesday, there is going to be a very, very important Democratic primary here in Wisconsin. And let me be very blunt with you. We will win if the voter turnout is high. We will lose if the voter turnout is low. It is as simple as all of that. So what I am requesting is that for all of those people in this great state of Wisconsin, which has, by the way, such a profound and great progressive history, one of the more progressive. All those people who have kind of given up on the political process, have turned their backs on politics and no longer vote, please come out. And I'm asking the young people who maybe have never voted in their lives to please come out. Let's send a very strong message to Governor Walker. Let's show Governor Walker that his voter suppression efforts will not work. Thank you all.
Well, they got out of there quick. Hey, everybody. That was, man, we've had a mess of streams today, and I apologize. It's so difficult right now to chase the streams down, and we've got so many people working on it, and there's a lot of confusion, and it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's just what happens when you have to chase these down, and the establishment is doing their best to suppress. We got like two things going on at the same time, everybody. It's really bizarre. We've managed to change the narrative, all right, and that's good. That's a good thing. We changed the narrative, but now we've got this like duplicitous establishment media coming out where they're look at Bernie's surge and we're still trying to suppress him over here. It's very different. It's very different. So hi everybody. Keyboard's fine. Sorry about the screen there. I hit a button. I was reaching over grabbing my tea. Tea's over here. Keyboard's over here too. I hit it. It did that, and then I couldn't figure out what the hell I did. I was like, oh shit, how do I get that back? And I just clicked in it. I have my mornings, just so you know, so I can keep everything straight. My mornings are very routine. I get up at the same time and I have this very strict timeline with which to get everything done so that we can do the newsroom and Bernie's rallies. And this morning got completely derailed at 6 a.m. with a phone call that was really important, and then another thing that I had to do that was really important, and then not knowing what stream was going on. And I just got a message, Democracy Spring, everybody. There's so much good news, so much good. We are winning. Do you hear what Bernie? Look, everything is. We just need to keep going. Wisconsin is going to be a blowout. Wyoming is going to be a blowout. New York is going to be a blowout. Do you realize Hillary? If you guys weren't with us earlier, Hillary Clinton left Wisconsin. No more engagements in Wisconsin. She hightailed it to New York so that she could do engagements there because Hillary's freaking. It's like, oh shit, I got to go to New York. I got to make friends in New York because I just agreed to debate Bernie in New York before the New York primary. It's not going to go good. It's not going to go good at all. It was a hectic morning. So yeah, hi everybody. Good to see you here. You're welcome. And I saw all your messages, and again, great conversation. We're running the conversation right now. Let me tell you some breaking news that is I think is really important. Give me a second to pull this up. We need to talk about these things. This is breaking news that just came through. I just need to grab the article. Give me 1 second, everybody. This is stuff that you need to hear about. We're going to talk about this together because it is important. As soon as I can find what it is. Where did it go? Where did it go? I have it right here. We'll look at it from over here and I'll read it there. Give me 1 second, folks. This is the kind of stuff you want to know and you want to get blasted out. This is a conversation with a superdelegate. Okay? So what we're looking at here is a Bernie Sanders supporter confronted a superdelegate, then leaked their private conversation. I want us to read the conversation for the record because I want you to understand what these superdelegates are willing to do and say to protect their establishment paychecks. Okay? So this superdelegate, and understand that superdelegates are representative of the people. They do get to vote individually, like all of us do. So as a citizen of the United States of America, they get to place their vote for whoever they damn well please. As a superdelegate representative, it is their responsibility to vote with the will of the people. And here is the conversation gets pretty bad. Younger is the person on Facebook. What happened was a person on Facebook confronted Metcalf, Kim Metcalf, who was an Alaska superdelegate. And looks like we ran out of conversation. Give me 1 second. We'll pull this back here. I need to rearrange cameras. Wasn't prepared for this. But we want to talk about it. This is important. So I'm just going to read some of the stuff here. Younger said, while I understand your personal preferences would naturally come first, you are human after all. With Bernie supporters, not the man himself, it would possibly leave a bad taste. What we're talking about here is, I'm going to distill this. I'm going to distill this and scroll down. The bottom line is that this superdelegate told this citizen of the United States, basically, I don't really care that 80% of my constituents want me to vote for Bernie Sanders. I am voting for Hillary Clinton because I personally feel that's the right choice, even though my job is to vote based on the will of the people. I am a representative of the people, and I'm supposed to vote based on what they say. But I'm not going to do that, and I'm telling you that publicly. That is literally what this elite establishment superdelegate said. And according to the article, basically talked down to them. It got very condescending at one point. Here, I want to read, this is important for the record. We're just going to put this up full screen so you can get the gist of this. Right? And I want you guys to grab this article. It should be, we need to get this put in the chat. This is very important if it's not. And I will cover this later if there's another rally. I want this superdelegate to understand that they don't have this right. This is beyond their power. And I want all superdelegates to understand they are representatives of the people. You are not some kind of demigod who gets to decide based on your high and mighty fucking wisdom that whatever the people want isn't right. This is a fucking democracy, Kim Metcalf. And if you don't vote the way the people tell you to vote, you will be removed from power like every other superdelegate that goes against the will of the people. Is that a threat to superdelegates and their jobs? Abso-fucking-lutely. All it takes is votes, Kim. And when 80% of your constituents look at you and go, why the fuck didn't you do what we asked you to do? The next thing they're going to do is vote your ass out. So you can act and do all you want, Kim. You can be as condescending as you want, but you're going to lose your fucking job. That's the bottom line. Let me read what she had to say. Younger is responding to Kim. Says, you're not making a concerted effort to vote for the public. And this is after Kim Metcalf has said, I'm going to vote the way I choose. I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. Fuck you. Okay. So the Facebook citizen says, you're not making a concerted effort to vote for the public. I am the public. Everyone who did nothing but caucus, as Metcalf said to her, you did nothing but caucus. Well, that's what the fucking people are supposed to do. Caucus. Okay. Everyone who did nothing but caucus did exactly like we should. We voted. You, ma'am, are the one who is missing the point. You said it yourself. You're voting for interests, but they're not mine. Not the rest of what the 75% of the state who opposed the establishment, right? And their choice for all of us. Saying this, we don't want establishment choices. Hillary Clinton is the establishment choice. We told you that. 75%, I said 80. It was 75% of Alaskans said, fuck you, we don't want the establishment choice. We want Bernie Sanders. And Metcalf's response, you know it all. Like she's some fucking high and mighty. Hey, Metcalf, you are a public servant. That's what it should read on your name tag. You should have a name tag. Public servant, Kim Metcalf. I represent the people. That's all you are. You're not a king or a queen or a princess or a monarch or any other goddamn title. You're a regular human being. You don't have superpowers. You're supposed to vote for the will of the people. Right now, you're just being a bitch, basically. Younger says, thank you for your time, Kim. You're stealing this for Hillary and you're rubbing it in our faces. If you find these comments negative, it's because what you're doing is wrong. As a citizen, you get to vote for your choice. As a rep, you vote for us. In the end, we'll hold you accountable. This is where it gets really, really sad. So here's a citizen. And I love what she said. I love what the citizen said. I don't know if it's she or he. Actually, I'm sorry. The last name is Younger. Says, in the end, we'll hold you accountable, which is exactly what I've been saying for a long time. There will be a reckoning, and we will hold establishment loyalists accountable. This is a political revolution. Metcalf says, sure, you'll be involved after the election. Younger says, you better believe it now. Having someone tell you your vote doesn't matter is enough to incite a riot. I agree. Absolutely. That's what happened in Arizona. They were told their vote didn't count, and there was a riot on their legislative floor. But this is where the audacity comes in of Kim Metcalf, where she says, now you're talking like Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? No, now we're talking like citizens who are pissed off that their establishment representatives aren't doing their jobs, Kim. And we're coming for yours. You will not be in office if you choose to vote against the will of the people. And that's exactly what this citizen was telling you. And I am so glad that this citizen had the stones to release this. And I hope the state of Alaska skewers this woman in social. Let's bring it out. Kim Metcalf, Alaskan rep. This is a U.S. Uncut article. Blow it up. Carpet bomb the web with the truth of this. And let's make a warning shot to all superdelegates that if this is how you're going to vote, riots are going to be the least of your worries. All we're really going to do is Bernie will run independent and we'll take over the country the way we want to. Because there are more of us who are Bernie or bust than there are of anybody else at this point. And that's a fact. So, there it is, everybody. I just, Kim Metcalf, you're a representative of the people. Your title means nothing. And if you abuse that power, you're going to lose your job. End of story. All right? End of story. I just wanted to cover that with you guys. And I know I totally lost the... yeah, thank you. Let's make her famous. Let's make her famous. Kim wants some social media attention. Kim doesn't understand how this works. We did it with Tone Down for what? Oh, and before we go, I got to show you guys this. I don't even know how many people are left. We got anybody watching anymore? I know this was a wreck. Is anybody still here? Hang on a second. I got to switch back. Wow, tons. Awesome. Hi. I'm so sorry. I'm like going crazy. I told you today it was nuts. I had to share this story with you because this was big. And I'm guessing we have some more comments that I could run through. So give me 1 second here. I just gotta get my stuff together. I saw this story come through. Wow, we got lots. I saw this story come through while we were listening to Bernie, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! You have got to be kidding me! This is just ridiculous. This is an absolute abuse of power." I will be blasting this out on Twitter after we end this show, but I want Kim Metcalf to know that this is not how you do your job, and that the people will hold her responsible, starting with Younger here. But I don't remember where I was going to go with that. There was so much news. So much news. Hang on a second. I got to find the other news that I was going to talk about. Comment sheet is sketching up. Keep an eye on it. Okay. We're trying to run. I'll go back to comments. I know we had some going, folks. Hang on. Oh, yeah, it is weird. There's something going on here. I'm just reading comments. Sorry, guys. All right, hang on. There was one thing I wanted to get out here. Look at this for a second. Well, I find what I wanted to pull up over here. There's some other stuff going on that is important to know. There's that. Where'd it go? Maybe I'll have to skip it. Maybe I'll have to skip it. This was huge news. I don't remember the other huge news. Democracy Spring. That was the last thing I want to mention. I'm going to be talking with the team. I just got an email. That was it. It's Democracy Spring. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Told you. Crazy day. Crazy freaking day. So this, we got abuse of power. Blow it up on the web with that. That's insane. There's been some new endorsements, I think, that have come through. There's been like so many different things that have happened that have been crazy. The Wisconsin governor thing. The other guy. Okay. I'm losing my mind here. Losing my mind. Democracy Spring. We're meeting today, and I will have more news for you about that tomorrow on the newsroom at 9 a.m. There's a lot going down. We are integrating media sources. We are going to create a hub, a place where all that media is going to be pulled together and then blasted back out. We are creating a very, very powerful force. And I will know more about that to talk to you about tomorrow. But what we are doing here among the independent media networks is pretty badass. And we're going to need your guys' help to push it out, to keep the message going as we broadcast Democracy Spring from April 2nd through the 16th. This is going to be the largest civil disobedience on the Washington Mall since MLK marched in the 60s. My guess is the establishment media is not going to cover it. Or if they do, they're going to cover it in a negative way. And we need to blow this out. So just pay attention to Democracy Spring. Go to that. Just Google Democracy Spring and go look at what they've got going on. It's big. It's backed by a lot of big names. And if you don't think Bernie has the momentum now, just wait until this goes off, because this is going to be huge. And this is happening right before New York. This is and this is happening during Wisconsin, and Wyoming. So we got those 3 states. We're unstoppable at this point. We're absolutely unstoppable. It is pretty amazing where we are at. This whole day has been such a wreck because things are happening so fast. Things are just that snowball. It's rolling downhill now. The breaking point was toned down for what? That really was the breaking point. That sent the landslide of truth headed our way. That's why the newsroom this morning was about blue pill versus red pill. And I think America right now is waking up. All of us have woken up to the fact that we need to face that fact, right? That it's they're staring at media. They're staring at the establishment and the words that are coming out from the TV, and they're going, no longer, I don't see it. I'm not fooled by the illusion anymore. We are not fooled. We see the harsh reality we live in. And this is beautiful. The narrative has changed. The narrative has changed. There was even another one that came out earlier. The narrative has changed. It was beautiful. I was looking at it. I was like, are you kidding me? Another one? Another narrative? This one was, I know what it was. It was Appleton. Go look at what's trending on Twitter right now. Appleton is trending. But you're like, okay, why is it trending? And I look at it. Bernie is at the top. Trump is underneath. If this was a month ago, Trump would be up top. Bernie would be underneath. Bernie might not even be on the page. It'd be all about Trump is in Appleton. Now, Bernie's in Appleton. And they've got little quotes and a picture. And underneath that, there's a little blurb that says Trump was also in Appleton. That's a significant shift in the narrative. Massive shift in the narrative. Let's look and see if there's any questions, comments. Yeah, vote April 5th. Make sure we remember that. April 5th, Wisconsin, phone bank, face bank, do the thing, keep going. It needs to be a massive, 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 massive blowout. We're thinking 60-40, but if we get over 70, that is the magic number. 70 or better is a blowout. And mainstream media can't do anything when it's 70. They're like, yeah, he totally destroyed it. If it's under 70, like 68, 69, they'll say he did well. But 70 or above is blowout, done. Okay, so we need that to be. How many people do I think will show up for Democracy Spring? 100,000 plus. I think it's going to be absolutely insane because by the time we're done promoting it from the 2nd through the 11th, the whole world will know about it. Our goal is to blow this up so big that we flood the mall with so many people. We basically let the DC Beltway know that the people are pissed and you either make some changes quick or you're out. We're going to march into your offices. You're out. We are demanding change, demanding it, because this is what the people do when their government has failed heinously to manage the nation that we've built. We built it together. We trusted a bunch of people to run it for us. They fucked it all up. Now we're taking it back and redoing things. That's what we do. We fix stuff. Americans are definitely good at fixing stuff. Now it's time to fix our own mess, to fix our government with Bernie Sanders. So there's a couple other questions I saw you guys ask. Where's my Bernie bumper sticker? Both of them got fuzzy, and I had to wash the shirts, and so I need to get some more bumper stickers. I really just need to get a Bernie shirt. The one I have, I don't like to wear it. It got too small. I didn't get too big. It just shrunk, and I need to get another one. And that's it. That's the answer to the questions there. I know that's big stuff. We are going to go out with 1 million. That would be badass, John Keem, if we could get 1 million. Have I seen Where to Invade Next? I have not seen Where to Invade Next. I need to see it. I keep trying to reach out to Michael Moore and his team and saying, let us do an engagement broadcast on it. Let's stream it. Let's do the conversation. Let's have Michael Moore on. Let's have them talk about it. We could do like a director's version, right? Or we could do like a streamathon with it and have him come on before and after. I keep saying this. I think filmmakers like Michael Moore and other people need to realize that the real place to put this media is the internet. And there's lots of ways we can do that to monetize if he wants to fund the film or send money to a cause. You know how this works, guys. But Michael Moore comes from a different generation that's really more focused on traditional filmmaking. But I think it would be much more expedient, faster for us if we would release these things internet. And so I'd love to work with them on that. I'd love to turn that into an engagement broadcast conversation where we could talk about these things. Stop the movie maybe a couple places in the middle and just talk. It would be so much more educational than sending everybody to a theater to mind their own business, watch it, and then leave. And then go home and report on social media, right? Why don't we do it here, now, together, real time? So yeah, I'd like to do that. And I make that offer to everybody with anything educational. I'd love to do Oliver Stone's History of the United States, because it's a more accurate history. It's the history that Bernie Sanders talks about. The history of the United States manipulating everything for resources and war, right? A beautiful thing, but I need to get a hold of Oliver Stone's people and see if we can do that. So anybody know how to do that? I'd love to bring movies, good documentaries, good educational documentaries to engagement broadcasting, to this platform. And I'd love to have the creators come on and join us. That's part of what makes this platform so great for conversation, is we can do that. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Good. Valerie, if Michael Moore follows you, hit him up. He doesn't talk to me or us. So that would be great. This is, Democracy Spring, one of the reasons we're working with them. Same idea. We can bring people in and out of the conversation. We'll have multiple points of it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Arizona says no recount on the full vote. However, they are counting provisional ballots. Those ballots are going to shift the numbers in Arizona. And we're not done with that. The people are pretty pissed. Don't doubt that they couldn't rise and decide they're going to change that anyway. All they got to do is fire a bunch of people, and that's happening. We've got a guy already running. I think we got a guy running for office to replace Helen Purcell right now. We had him on. We watched a video of his the other day. We didn't have him on. Jeez, there's so many people on and off this show. It's getting crazy. Yeah, I do too, George. I do. So, look, I would love to just Michael Moore. We could work together. I could get you so much more exposure for your content than you get now through traditional pipelines. Please, anybody out there who is trying to get their videos out through a traditional method, come here. Let us show you the open pipeline that will bring everybody. This is where it is. All right? Traditional methods are falling away to the net, which is where we have a conversation. And that's where we need to bring everybody. But so anyway, I'll work with anybody in that line. All right, we're going to get the hell out of here because I have a feeling there's a whole nother event that we got to do. Let me make sure I'm not missing any important stuff. I do need a Bernie sweatshirt, Jesse. That is what I need. I want a Bernie hoodie or a Journey sweatshirt. Or Bernie. It's been a long day. And Journey would be okay too. I was a Journey fan back in the 80s. I'd rather have a Bernie shirt though, really. It would be much more relevant, don't you think? We're going to go out with... We're just going to do it again. I don't care. I want to. I'm pretty energetic today. I'm pretty hyped. I'm tired, but I'm like full of this energy. There's this crazy energy about the shift, about what Bernie said earlier today. It's happening. Like the movement's real. We're making it happen. Mainstream media is becoming less and less relevant. Their lies less and less important to deal with. We've changed the narrative. We're doing it. Congratulations. We're winning the political revolution right now. Don't stop. Don't get sad. Don't get deterred. Keep pressing on. We've got a long way to go. Long way to go. But every step of the way, the momentum builds and it gets a little easier for us because more and more people wake up to the reality of where we are right now. And that's what matters, is that we wake up the country. It's about... This channel was created to inform the electorate. And information, that is the ammunition. That is what we need in this war. The truth. So carpet bomb the web with the truth of what's going on today. Let's roast Kim Metcalf. Make sure she understands what it means when you do not listen to the will of the people. The people run this country. The establishment forgot. It's time for them to unlearn and relearn that reality. And that's what we're doing. It's hard for everybody. So, feel the burn. We'll talk to you guys later. You guys are incredible. Love you all.
I'm sorry. But I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty.
I'm gonna show you how great I am.
In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure.
Now, what are you gonna do?
Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
Huge